In a serene village, surrounded by towering mountains and flowing rivers, lived a Zen master named Ryokan. Known for his profound wisdom and tranquil demeanor, people often traveled great distances to seek his guidance. His teachings were simple, yet they carried the weight of deep truth, and his stories left lasting impressions on those who heard them. One crisp autumn morning, a young woman named Aiko arrived at Ryokan's small, peaceful temple. Aiko was troubled and restless, constantly overwhelmed by the noise and chaos of her life. She sought a moment of peace, hoping that the Zen master could help her find it. With a respectful bow, Aiko said, "Master Ryokan, my mind is always filled with noise. I cannot find peace or clarity. How can I quiet my mind?" Ryokan, with a gentle smile, motioned for Aiko to follow him to the garden. They walked in silence, the only sounds being the rustling leaves and the distant chirping of birds. The master led her to a small, still pond and invited her to sit by its edge. "Look at the pond," Ryokan instructed softly. Aiko gazed at the water. It was so still that it mirrored the sky above perfectly. Ryokan then picked up a pebble and gently tossed it into the pond. Ripples spread across the surface, distorting the reflection. "This is your mind," Ryokan explained. "When it is filled with thoughts and worries, it is like the rippled pond, distorted and unclear. But in stillness, your mind becomes calm and reflective, like the undisturbed pond." Aiko watched the ripples gradually fade away until the water was still once more. She understood the metaphor, but was unsure how to achieve such stillness in her own mind. "How can I find this stillness, Master?" she asked. Ryokan stood and gestured for Aiko to follow him. They walked to a quiet corner of the garden where a large ancient tree stood. Under the tree, there was a simple bench. The master sat down and invited Aiko to do the same. "Close your eyes and listen," Ryokan instructed. Aiko closed her eyes and strained to listen. At first, all she could hear were her own thoughts buzzing incessantly, but gradually, she began to notice the subtle sounds around her, the rustling of leaves, the distant flow of the river, the chirping of crickets. As she focused on these sounds, her mind began to quiet. After a while, Ryokan spoke softly. "In the silence, we hear what truly matters. Silence is not the absence of sound, but the presence of peace. Silence is a source of great strength." Aiko felt a wave of calm wash over her. She realized that in her daily life, she had been so consumed by the noise of the world that she had forgotten to listen to the silence within. She opened her eyes and looked at Ryokan, understanding dawning in her heart. "Master, how can I bring this silence into my everyday life?" she asked. Ryokan smiled warmly. "Make time for stillness each day, whether it's a few moments in the morning or a quiet walk in the evening. Find your sanctuary of silence. In silence, you will find clarity and strength. The quieter you become, the more you are able to hear." Aiko nodded, feeling the truth of his words resonate within her. She vowed to practice this new understanding in her daily life. Over the following weeks, she set aside time each day to sit in silence, to listen to the quiet whispers of the world around her. Gradually, she found that her mind became calmer and her heart lighter. She discovered a profound peace that she had never known before. One day, she returned to Master Ryokan, her face radiant with serenity. "Thank you, Master," she said, bowing deeply. "I have found the peace I was searching for." Ryokan's eyes twinkled with kindness. "Remember, Aiko, silence is always within you. Whenever life becomes too noisy, return to the stillness. It will always guide you. In the silence of the heart, you will find the answer." With a heart full of gratitude, Aiko left the temple, carrying the wisdom of the Zen master with her. She knew that no matter where life took her, she could always find peace in the power of silence.